Welcome to the new episode of Come Talk About Sports from WQAQ 98.1 from Hampton, Connecticut, Quinnipiac University. Today, I am here with Marcus Pierre. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
So today we're going to be talking all about the NBA, but one thing I want to get out the way, not NBA related, but we got to talk about the amazing career of Julian Edelman. How important do you think that man was in the Patriots run?
He was, I would say, the second most important player on the entire team because without him, there was no security blanket for Brady. And he had his little circle of trust or whatever, so he was number one guy there. So whenever the play broke down, find number 11, he was always open. So he was great for us.
Yeah, Edelman was an amazing player in his time. Yeah, you can't ask for more from Edelman.
Yeah, and a great story, too.
Amazing story, 7th round pick, smaller guy.
Quarterback in college.
Corner, amazing punt return, started off his special teams, getting some tackles. What was your favorite Julian Edelman moment?
I mean, I think everybody's favorite moment is the catch, and was that 53?
One of the best catches ever.
I lost my mind when I saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah, amazing catch right there. But now, let's move on to NBA. Now we're done with Edelman. So I'm going to start out this weekend. We have plenty of amazing performances yet. Last night, including Jonas Valanciunas did amazing. Gary Trent did amazing. Jason Tatum, Zach LaVine. There was plenty of performances that were amazing. But who was your number one?
I'd say my number one guy. I mean, there were so many great performances this week. But I'd say number one was Jason Tatum, dropping 53 on, what was it? I think 16 for 25 shooting.
Crazy.
I've been saying all year long, when JT can shoot over 50% from the field, the Celtics will win. And I have not been proven wrong so far. 53 points on 25 shots is insane. I think that couldn't be taught this weekend.
Yeah, Jason Tatum, amazing performance. I have to go with Gary Trent Jr. Trent Jr. came out of nowhere with 53 points. No, or something.
44.
He was 17 for 19.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You don't see that. I know. The night before, he was not shooting that amazing. And as Richard DeVizio was on Fantasy Basketball League, dropped him.
The day before,
Gary Trent had that amazing game. But he's definitely, I think, was my favorite story of the weekend. But let's move on to the Toronto Raptors. They've been struggling. They're right now the 11th seed, about 2.5 games behind. Do you think the Toronto team could sneak into the play-in?
So they're the 11th seed right now?
Right now they're 11th, 2.5 games behind.
I mean, I think this year for them in general is a big outlier year. They're not even back home. They're in Tampa still, I believe.
Yeah, they're in Tampa.
Yeah, they've been killed by injuries all year. Fred's out.
Back.
Yeah. Their team is nothing special. They lost Norman Powell but got Gary Trent. I think they could possibly sneak into the 8th seed or into the play-in tournament and make a run there, but I don't see anything crazy coming from them.
Yeah, they should trade Lowry and all their veterans and enter a full rebuild.
I mean, full rebuild around who, though? Fred?
That's what I mean. It's just a full rebuild. You're going to trade everyone and trust you drafting. Kind of what Orlando Magic's doing right now, but a little better because they have better pieces, of course.
I mean, well, you have to build it around somebody. So I'd say you build it around Fred. I'd keep Chris Boucher. And then I don't think it's a rebuild, honestly. I think it's just retool. I think that's a better word for it. Because they have pieces. They have OG. They have Stanley Johnson, who's been okay for them this year. They have Boucher, who's popped off.
Aaron Baines started doing better, too.
Aaron Baines playing well. Fred, when he's been healthy, has played well. I think they need a retooling. That's it, not a rebuild.
Yeah, there's definitely some stars there, but 20 and 32 right now is not what they expected at all. The team is supposed to be a real playoff contention, but it's not like that at all. A team that is maybe coming out of rebuild right now, though they have the worst record in the NBA. That's the Minnesota Timberwolves. Cat came back a few weeks ago. D'Angelo Russell is back. Malik Beasley is still going to be out for a while, but in the 8 games this season that Cat and D'Lo has played, they're 4-4. Do you think this Minnesota team healthy as a playoff team in the West?
Where are they right now? I don't know.
They're
where
dead
they're
last
now.
in the record. Not this year. I'm talking about the future.
In the future, I mean, they could be. They have the talent to be on a playoff team. They have Anthony Edwards. I know you hate him, but I feel like he is a good player. He can be a good player in this league. Cat's obviously unreal. D'Lo is coming into himself after being out for a while. Malik Beasley's a star, even though he got hurt and killed my fantasy team, but that's okay. They could, I say, their max is like a 5-6 seed. They get around the playoffs, but they're not winning anything anytime soon.
My bold prediction for this Minnesota team, I think they should do is, people hate it, move Anthony Edwards for a star.
But why do you hate him, though? For what? All right, go.
I want Bradley Beal if I'm them.
That's going to take a lot.
Yeah. You build a trade around surrounding with Anthony Edwards and get Bradley Beal.
They give up like Ant, Beasley, like a few picks in there too.
It matters what the deal is with Westbrook, what they're going to do, of course. But they want to rebuild that team.
Yeah.
They're going into rebuild. It'd be stupid if they don't. Bale has to be off the team because they're not going to go anywhere at all. Or we maybe see a trade the other way around. Maybe Minnesota kind of gives up. But I don't see because Cat's still young. But I think one of those two teams in Minnesota or Washington has to make a blockbuster trade to step up in this year. If I'm Minnesota, Anthony Edwards has looked promising. But like I've always said, he shoots way too much. He's not going to be an efficient player. I think his ceiling is nothing bizarre. I don't think he could be a solid third option. I think of Bradley Beal.
But I mean, Bradley Beal.
If you have Beasley, that's fine.
Yeah.
Give away some picks. You might not even have the pick this year because the Warriors have him if it goes outside the top 3.
Yeah. But the thing with Bradley Beal is that he has a no trade clause. Most likely, he's a superstar to Minnesota.
If you have
who wants to go to Minnesota? I don't want to. If I were him, I would not go in there.
Yeah, but he wants
I'll
to
stay
win
in
now.
DC.
I don't think he cares about the weather. I think he wants to win.
Some of those stars, they're divas. I would not want to go to Minnesota because it is cold up there.
Surround yourself with D'Angelo Russell.
But in that stacked West too, have to go through all of them to go to the finals.
You have to go through some nice teams because he's not going to trade anywhere good. Because Philadelphia can't do an offer.
That's true.
Nets can't do an offer.
I think it all comes down to where that pick falls. I think the pick falls super high, like 1 through 3, where they can keep it. I think Ant could leave and Beasley could leave in other future picks for Beal. But if it falls outside of that first 3,
all of a sudden, say the pick goes 1, Minnesota owns that.
Yeah.
Cade Cunningham number 2. Evan Mobley's really good too.
But where would Cade fit on that team or Mobley because they already have Cat?
Say they do a trade to
true.
Washington.
Yeah.
If I'm them, I want to do a package surrounding Bradley Beal. Beal is
so you would do
amazing.
the top 3 pick if they get that, Edwards, Beasley, and a future pick on top of that for Beal.
Pick for Bradley Beal. And say you get maybe a pick back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that deal, if you're Minnesota, you've been in a rebuild practically since Kevin Garnett left the team.
That's true.
You made the playoffs once with Jimmy Butler, and that's it. You got rid of Zach LaVine for a year, and Lauri Markkanen. They used Markkanen with that pick for a year rental of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
But this team needs to turn around. But one team that had a quick rebuild because of LeBron James, do you think LeBron James has to return a little sooner than expected?
All right, I got 2 points of view from this. From a fantasy perspective, since I drafted him with the 6th pick, I think he should come back and play tomorrow. That's what I need because I cannot afford to go into the playoffs with LeBron James. I have no chance. But from a Lakers perspective, I think why not let him get fully healthy until he feels ready to come back and play?
Or what if they fall all the way down to maybe the play-in tournament?
It doesn't matter. They have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. It doesn't matter who they have to go through. They're going to get through them most likely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they keep falling and falling. Anthony Davis is going to return maybe sometime at the end of this week.
Yeah.
Possibility. But if I'm them, I don't want to play Utah first round. I don't even want to play Phoenix first round.
But like LeBron was saying back when he was in Cleveland, he always stressed that the regular season means nothing. It doesn't.
But you don't want a first round matchup against Phoenix.
That's true.
Or Utah.
That is, I would not want that either. But I feel like
I want to fall between 3 and 6. Even though there's only been 1 6 seed ever win in those Houston Rockets, but this would be an exception, of course, so they could still make a deep run.
They could and they will.
But
because
I wouldn't want to play Utah or Phoenix first round. Teams that nobody thought would be the top 2 teams right now.
Mm-hmm, that's crazy.
I'm scared of those 2 teams right there.
I'm not because the king is the king, and it is what it is.
I don't know. I think Utah, if you stay healthy, a team. It's going to be scary.
They live and die with a 3, though. So if it's not falling their way one night or 2 nights,
phenomenal. They have good bench with
it's
Ingles and Clarkson.
But they put up the most I think ever they're on pace for. So if those aren't falling for that whole series, that's a wrap. You can 5 games.
A team that relies on the 3-ball. But once on the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul was considered the best point guard in the league. Right now, who's the best point guard in the NBA?
Steph Curry. End of conversation. Next question.
Are they Dames in the convo?
Steph Curry.
Dames in the MVP convo.
Stephen Wardell. Stephen Curry.
Do you think Steph is the best?
Of all time, yes.
All time, no.
Of all time.
Magic Johnson?
Of all time.
Not all time.
Steph changed the game.
No, Magic Johnson is
of all time, I would take Stephen Curry to lead my team.
Not Magic Johnson?
Easy.
Magic Johnson led his team to multiple finals.
From the second Steph touched the ball, you need to full court guard him.
Magic Johnson could play all 5, and he won a championship his rookie year.
But what can Magic do that Steph can't, besides defense? That doesn't count.
He's 6'9", he can guard anybody, and he can score the paint easily.
What I'm saying,
if he played in this time, he would have developed a 3-point shot.
But what I'm saying is that...
And he was much better passing than Steph.
Yeah, but Steph is still a very good passer. And Steph...
Magic is arguably one of the best.
I mean, but for like an offensive threat, you're taking Magic over Steph?
If I want to win a championship, I'm taking Magic Johnson.
I'm taking Steph.
If I'm building around a team in their prime, give me... Magic Johnson any day.
On top of that, with Steph's unselfishness too, him can go off ball and on ball.
Magic can do much better defense. And if he played in this day of ever, he would have developed a 3-point shot.
Possibly.
Because if you consider his very last year before AIDS in 1992, he made the finals. James Worthy ended their career kind of. They still made the finals in 92. Magic made it in his first year and won MVP, Finals MVP without Kareem. Kareem was hurt for most of the series. He played center in Game 7.
Had an
amazing game. I think Magic Johnson is the best point guard in NBA history.
Maybe I have a little bias because I've never seen Magic play live in person, and I've seen Steph play for a long time. But I still think that Steph is the best point guard of all time.
He's the best 3-point shooter ever by far.
Yeah, he changed the game as we know.
100% changed the game, but I still think Magic.
I'm still sticking with Steph.
Magic and Larry changed the game forever.
But right now in this league, I say Steph 1, Kyrie 2. Talent-wise, Steph 1, Kyrie 2, Dame 3.
And he can at least lead the teams to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you're talking about pure talent, one-on-one, I'm taking Kyrie all day over Dame.
I see that. Yeah, I'll have to go Steph, then I'll go Dame number 2. But I'm going to stay with the Warriors. This team just lost James Wiseman. The torn meniscus, which is tough because he's the future center for this team. He's really good. He's going to be legit center for this team in the future. Now they're on to next year. Klay Thompson got hurt before the year. Missed the year before that too. Is this team cursed? Yeah,
100%. We were saying before last year's draft, before even the lottery even, that if that Warriors team could get James Wiseman, it would be a wrap for whoever they want to play. They would make a good run in the Western Conference playoffs. But they just keep getting killed by injuries. First, Thompson, now Wiseman. Steph had his issues earlier in the year. They just can't catch a break. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a big thing because Wiseman, if you see a lot, Draymond's really trying to talk to them. He wants them to be the best that he can be. And I think Wiseman is going to be really good.
Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I do not feel bad for them because those fans for the past 4 or 5 years KD was there, I could not stand the Warriors. So... it's tough for the individual players, but for the team, I don't feel them for 1 second.
That's true. One thing I saw was, so they had the main person that's stuck with the health of all the players, the trainer. He left in 2018 to go to Atlanta.
I didn't know that.
And since then, that's when all the injuries.
They better call her up right now and bring her back. They better bring her back.
That's people are saying. Was she a big part of
keeping
that team healthy? But we'll be back soon. We're going to go a quick commercial break, but stay tuned. We're going to be talking more about the NBA.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we going to do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing, too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad.
This is the new 98.1 WQAQ, the best DJs and the best music, broadcasting live 24/7 from Quinnipiac University, 98.1.
And welcome back on Come Talk About Sports. We're going to move right into it. So a great story as a Celtics fan that we saw in the past week was the return of Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, how much do you love that man?
I mean, words can't describe how much I think all of Boston loves his man. I think he's the most loved man for the past 20 years, I'd say, Isaiah Thomas. This man gave his whole career for that one playoff run, or for those 3-4 years he had. He lost so much money, and my heart goes out to him and his family for their sister. He played through that death. He lost his tooth. He still played. Like, words can't describe how much he means to me, personally and as a professionally too.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, you couldn't ask for much more.
You can't.
He sacrificed his body, did whatever it takes for the team to one seed, led them to the East Conference Finals with that legendary series against the Wizards. Do you think that Wizards series is one of the best in the last 10 years for the Boston Celtics?
I would say absolutely, because we had a real rivalry with them. We had not, like, I know me personally,
John Wall.
I hated the Wizards. I hated the Wizards fans, the organization. I hated Kelly Oubre so much. But I think personally that's top 3 rivalry in the past 10 years for that team.
Which series better, that one or the one with the Cavs when they went to 7 in East Conference Finals?
That's a tough question. I mean, basketball-wise, I'd say...
If you had to rewatch one series, you had no clue what the outcome is, you'd rather watch the 7-game series of the Cavs or the 7-game series of Wizards. Even though the Celtics did lose, that was still unbelievable. Unreal
series. I'd say the Wizards series, because there's the whole background story of how we got up to that moment during the regular season. We didn't like them then. The playoffs, we went 7 games. That one was crazy.
Never forget the unsung hero, Kelly Olynyk, that series.
Of course, never.
Simply because of that one series. It was phenomenal, but absolutely bodied by Kelly Oubre.
Yep.
Definitely. That series was a fun one to watch.
It was very fun.
About in the last 20 years, Celtics only have one championship.
Yeah.
That's from the Big Three and the Celtics. Is that Big Three overrated?
I think they get a little too much credit for what they didn't do or did do, but they were still a very talented team that also got killed by injury at the wrong time. Like you said, talking about no Perk against the Lakers in the finals. I think if he was healthy, they would have won. KG was off for a little bit. I think they just
KG was out the year before.
Yeah.
That's when Orlando made it.
They just got killed by injuries at the wrong time. Not just, it was their downfall.
Do you think if LeBron stayed in Cleveland, would the Celtics have another championship?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, the Celtics 08 team, of them forming that Big Three, has shaped the NBA the way it is today. Because of them, LeBron went to South Beach. And then from that point on, people started forming their little super teams. And that's what we see today. So it's all from the Celtics.
Yeah, if it was the Boston Celtics, that Big Three, who knows what would have happened. And I'm actually going to talk about one player who's been in the news recently. That is Paul Pierce.
Yeah, wow.
Paul Pierce has been everywhere in the news, lost his job to ESPN. But it's been talks that he might go to Barstool Sports. Would you like to see him on Barstool Sports? I
mean, they already have Deion Sanders. I don't even know what he does for that company.
Pierce will most likely be more involved, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think first you take a step back and just chill for a bit. And then if the opportunity comes, they want to pay him, I'd say take the money and go.
Yeah, Paul Pierce, funny guy. I think he could be a great fit for a fellow Bostonian and Dave Portnoy.
Yeah.
I think that could be a funny combination depending how they use him. Deion, he's never really on air.
That's true.
He's busy. He's a coach, football coach.
Yeah.
Now. But I think it could definitely be an interesting thing right here, bud. The last segment that we have is one I made is going to be jersey number histories. And Marcus, you're going to have to guess what number or what player this was. Are you ready for this?
Hopefully. Let's do it.
So to start off with, what is the most common number
in
Celtics history?
How?
I'll give you a hint. It is worn by a player right now.
Worn by a player right now. How am I supposed to know this?
More of him. He is in the rotation.
Wow. Okay. We have 10 guys in our rotation.
Yeah.
So I ain't thinking those numbers.
And
they're all leaving my head right now.
You know, a lot of players' numbers are tired.
Who's even on our team? I don't even remember. It's not 0. Is it 0? It could be 0. 8, No. I forget who's on the team. It's all leaving my head right now. We're going to go with Marcus Smart's number 36.
That's incorrect. It's number 12.
Number 12.
34
Oh,
players
true.
in the Celtics history.
Yeah, now I think about
number
it.
12 and the most recent now is Grant
Yeah.
Williams.
Yeah.
We're going to a little recent player is there's only been one player to ever wear this number in Boston Celtics history, and he was on the team a few years ago. Who wore the number 60? One player.
Thank you very much.
Everywhere.
I won't say his name right now. I'll tell you the little backstory about him. Is that was the 2018 Celtics run. We were bodied by injuries, so we brought this man in, and he hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter against the Timberwolves. Named Jonathan Gibson. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're correct. Jonathan Gibson is the only player.
Yep.
To ever wear number 60.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
For the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of numbers to go by. Fun fact: Evan Fournier is the first player to ever wear
94.
But now the next one is your guy is Time Lord. Who
Of
wore the
course.
jersey before him?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think the obvious answer is Scal, but there could be somebody after him. Oh, Tyler Zeller wore 40. No, we'll go with Scal. Yeah, we'll go Scal. I'm probably wrong, but we'll go Scal.
Celtics answer was Tyler Zeller.
Oh my God, I thought he wore 40.
Number 44.
Dang.
He was the most recent one. Just left recently. He's recent. The next number is so this player. This number right here is only been worn by 2 players.
All right.
One player is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
The second player was an all-defensive team player.
All defensive team? Are they both
And they
recent?
both played in the last decade.
Last decade, last 10 years. So you said one's a Hall of Famer.
One's in the Hall of Fame.
And then
one is an all-defensive team player.
So it's
and
either...
who are the 2 guys who wore this? If you get it correct, I'll ask who the 2 guys were.
So one's a Hall of Famer, one first team all defense. Either Marcus Smart or Avery Bradley. But who wore...
What number is your... They're the only 2 players that ever wear this number.
I'm going to go with 0. It's wrong, but I'm going with 0.
Incorrect. You want another guess?
It's not 36. I'm going to cry if it's 36. Who else first team all defense? Oh, 42.
No, it's 36.
Oh my gosh. All right.
There's Marcus Smart. You know the player who wore before him?
Who wore before him? I have no...
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, Lord.
They're
I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Ever wear the number 36.
Like, I knew it
Boston
too,
Celtics.
but I thought I was wrong.
But now the next one to end with. Who was the last 4 players in Celtics history with the number 11?
The last 4 players in Celtics history, number 11. All right.
You know all of them.
Yeah, I just want to apologize in advance. I know my stuff, but I'm just losing my mind today. Last 4 players: Courtney Lee, Enes Kanter, Kyrie Irving, and there's one more person that I don't know who it is. So I'm just gonna go with those 3, and you tell me the last
All right,
one.
so you had 2 of them correct.
2
Kyrie
of them.
and Kanter. He's not the most recent. You want another attempt?
Who else wore it?
Another player wears it. One of them is president. Is on the team right now.
Oh, Peyton Pritchard. I forgot about him.
All right. Yeah,
There's
Peyton
3.
Pritchard. Who
And
wore it
then
before Kyrie?
who wore it before Kyrie? Abdel Nader?
No.
I have no clue. I'm not gonna get it.
You want me to get it?
Yeah.
Evan Turner.
Oh my gosh. This is embarrassing for me. I should know this stuff.
He wore it right
Yeah.
before.
We saved that man's career.
The last one is the bonus one. It's off the top of my head. Who's the only player to ever wear 00 in Celtics history?
Oh my gosh. All right.
Once
It's
you hear
not.
the answer, you might be a little mad, but I saw it was off the top of my head.
It's either Leon Poe wore just straight 0.
00.
PJ Brown.
No.
What
Hall
do
of
you-
Famer Robert Parrish.
All right. That's a wrap for tonight. I need
Or
to
do you
go.
want me to do one more?
Do one more. I can't leave on that.
The last 2 players for number 99 for the Boston Celtics. You should get this one correct.
99. Jay Crowder is number 1.
And who's the most recent?
Who wears that now? Or who wore that before him? I don't know. I need to go take a nap.
Fall wears number
Okay.
99
We need to
right
wrap
now.
this
That's
up.
a perfect way to end it
Yeah.
off. And right there's how we end it. Thank you for listening. WQAQ 98.1. This is Heath Savage here. Marcus Pierre. Stay tuned for next week for more.